All right. So after you've utilized the LLC to protect you against liability for doing direct business with the public, and then you name your single member LLC. The member that's the single member is your holding company. Your LLC treated as S corp, and the reason why you set up the LLC treated as S corp so you can have the simple setup, but also the tax treatment to where you can separate your active income from your passive income, because you don't want all your income to get taxed twice. After you've satisfied whatever the nominal tax requirement that you had to do on this side, with the money after taxes, you're going to make a capital contribution to your family bank. Now, your family bank is a an entity that holds your assets. Now, a lot of people are not aware of this entity. It's called an LLLP, a limited liability limited partnership. An LLLP, a limited liability limited partnership. So you want to have your LLLP, limited liability limited partnership, domiciled in a state that's private, a state that doesn't have your name anywhere publicly on it, a state that doesn't have your address anywhere publicly on it. And one of those states is a state by the name of Wyoming. It's said that Wyoming has more entities, paper entities, than physical entities. Because think about it, you are a entity, you are a living entity. A business is an entity on paper, and it's said that Wyoming has more paper entities than actual physical entities. And one of those reasons might be is because they let somebody have a business to where everything is considered private. Now, why do people set up LLLPs? What's the benefit of setting up an LLLP? It allows you to separate your general partners from your limited partners. All right. So the reason when your LLC treated as S corp made a capital contribution to this bank, it did it for 99% limited partnership ownership of the family bank. Now, here's the benefit of being a limited partner. A benefit of being a limited partner is you you get to collect all of the profits. The disadvantage is you're not able to share in any of the expenses. And what I mean by that is you can't write off things that business is doing because you're not actively working in the business. Now, the general partner can write off certain expenses because they are actively working in the business on a regular basis. But the limited partners, even though you can't write off those expenses, the benefit is you're able to collect profits without being liable. It also means you can't make decisions for this company. Now, what the person does is on the active income side, to where the person has it to where their holding company, their LLC treated as S corp, is the single member manager of all of their active income public facing companies. What you do on this side, which is your passive income side of your money, you have it set up to where this is the single member owner of your passive income producing entities. Because here's the thing, there are a lot of things that you're going to own that have no inherent liability. Like your savings account isn't going to hit somebody with their car. Your Bitcoin account, your money market account, your bank CDs, your cash value life insurance. You don't have to worry about somebody suing you because that account caused somebody harm. However, if you had a passive a rental property, that's considered passive income that has some inherent liability. So you might want to silo that off from your other things that you have. So on this side, your passive income, you are making sure that all of your personal assets are taken care of. Now, one of the things that a lot of people make, the mistakes that a lot of people make when they set up these things, is they create this whole company and they put all of their personal assets in it, and they think they're just protected if they were to get sued. But if you were to do some research, what you might discover is if they can prove that you set up an entity solely for the purposes of protecting your personal assets, they can strike that down. They can act as if you did not cut the strings and put your assets over somewhere protected. You want to be able to show that, yeah, hey, yes, I have an entity that owns a lot of what were in my personal assets. Absolutely. However, my personal assets are just coming along for the ride. This is a real business. And there are ways for you to have it set up to where, because I listen, I understand you're over here on the right side. You're actively working in your companies. You don't need to be over here trying to figure out how to make money. There's a way that you can have your entity set up to where it's protecting your personal assets, and if challenged, you can show that this entity owns assets that make money. And we're going to talk about that a little later on in this workshop.